Hi, in this tutorial we're going to take a look at using HTTPS with our localhost. So what steps we should take? We should modify our host file to add desired domain, if you wish. Create certificates using some special utility. We will be using mkcert. And check everything works by setting a simple node server that will use our keys. As a first step, we need to modify our localhost file. I'm using macOS, so it will be on the path private etc. hosts. Okay, so we need to add a new line with our IP and desired domain name. I'm using a machine that is in my local network, so it will be this IP and any domain name. And we will be using an utility that will set up a local server that can prove that our certificate is valid. So this utility is called mkcert. There are two of them, I know, Cloudflare CFSSL. The link will be in description. And mkcert. mkcert is more popular, so I choose it for this tutorial. Okay, you can install it with brew. Install mkcert. So as you can see, it's already installed on my machine. So we will create the certificate. So we will be using mkcert utility to generate our certificates. So first we need to install our root certificate. -install. Okay, so our local certificate is installed in the system trust store. So that means that certificate generated here will be checked by Chrome using this system trust store. Okay, so let's change our directory to this mkcert directory, and let's generate our desired domain name certificate. So we will be using mkcert and specify the domain name and a wildcard. Okay, if we take a look, we have our certificates here, which we now should transfer to our remote destination. Okay, so now we should transfer our certificates from our local machine to our machine where our server will be built. This is a machine in my network, or you can place it wherever you want, where you will build a Docker image of your server, like NGINX. So I will be using SFTP to transfer the files to my remote host. Okay, so all commands that affects local machine are prefixed with the letter L. So if I type lpwd, the local working directory will be printed, and if I type pwd, the remote directory will be printed. So if I want to check the file names that were generated yet, and I should type l local ls. So here are the file names, and I will put it to my remote host directory with a put, and I should type the file names +1 key I will put also the certificate. Okay, that's all. We can exit by and now we will connect to our remote host using SSH. The theme for Omazash I'm using will be in the description. It's called okay, so that's probably it, and the last step is just to check if everything works. I will be using a simple node server for that. So we need to create some configuration files, and I will make a directory for. Okay, so let's create a directory. Let's call it local HTTPS. And we need to create first NGINX configuration file. Okay, so we will start with the first server section. We need to at first listen to port 80, and we will be redirecting HTTP traffic to HTTPS. The server name will be which we specified in our host file. And location will be our root. So this will be our host and request URI. So the next section will be for our SSL. So we will listen to the 443 port and enable SSL. This is important. The server name will be exactly the same, so we can copy these lines. We need to enable SSL certificate, so we will tell NGINX where this can be found. And we need to tell NGINX where the key can be found. The extensions and file names are not important. You can just name it as cert and key, for example. And we will proxy pass it to our node instance. So as you can see, I'm proxy passing it to node 3000. That's because we'll be using Docker, and if our containers are in the same network, so we can just use the name of the service here. Okay, let's write it. Quit. And the next step is to create a Docker file that will create our NGINX with the key and this configuration. So let's create it. First, we will use NGINX Alpine. At first, we need to remove the default configurations. It's stored in etc. NGINX conf. Then we need to copy our cert and key to the path we specified in our NGINX configuration. So that's NGINX certificates. Remember to put a slash if it's a directory. And we will copy our NGINX configuration to NGINX conf d directory. So that's all. Write it. Okay. The next step to set up our containers in the same network is the easiest way to use Docker Compose. If you have not installed Docker or Docker Compose, you can just visit the official docs and add the repository and install it on your machine. I'm using Ubuntu here, so you can find any instructions for your particular operating system. Okay, so let's create a Docker Compose file. The version I will be using is 3.7. Remember to use only spaces to indent the hierarchy of your file. So the services will be our NGINX. We will build our image from current directory. The ports are not that important, but I will specify it to have access from outside the network. It will be 8080 and also the HTTPS port. The last section we will use depends on and specify our node container here. So the next instance of the server will be node. So remember to use the same name as you specified in your NGINX conf. So I have prepared an image that just displays a default message. So we will use image here. It's called simple not message, and the ports are not important here, but for debug purpose I will specify it here, so we can reach the node server outside the network if something will go wrong. So that's probably it. Write it. And now we need to start our Docker container. Okay, so I noticed that I'm creating all the files in my home directory, so I will just move it to local HTTPS directory as was planned. So we need to use mv. And what else? Okay, let's see what we've got there. Nice. Okay, and also we need to check and see what we got in total. Okay, so we've got Docker file, Docker Compose, NGINX conf, and our certificate and key. Okay, so let's build and start our containers to check if everything works. And run our containers in daemon mode, so they will be running in background. Now Docker will build our image, as we said to build NGINX and not use some image from registry. Okay, so we can see our node container is up and NGINX container is up too. So now we can visit it with our browser, and we can check it from our local machine with our browser. Okay, I think I have some error in our configuration, so let's check if containers are working. So we will need to use sudo -a. Okay, so we have some error in our NGINX container. Let's see Docker logs. Okay, let's check the configuration. Okay, I got it. I misspelled the key here. Okay, so we will need to remove our image. As you can see, Docker images. We have our local HTTPS NGINX, and we need to rebuild it once again. So we will use Docker RMI. We need to stop all our containers. To remove container that is now running, we need to use force flag. Okay, let's for simple use sudo su. Okay, Docker -f, and we will display all our containers, Docker psq, so it will log the up containers, and A will log also containers that are not running at this time. So we will remove all of them, Docker -f -f, and specify here the command ps-qa. Okay, nice. So no containers are up now, and we can use Docker remove images. Okay, all the layers were deleted, so let's try. Okay, so now we have HTTPS traffic here, and we see our message from our node server. If we try to visit HTTP, we will be automatically redirect to HTTPS. So that's probably it. All the files that we created here will be in the link in the description. You can download it, you can edit it, and that's probably all. See you next time. Have a nice time of the day. Bye.